So I just got finished talking about a really shitty fish movie. Time to change gears and talk about a really good fish movie. Finding Nemo was released in 2003 and is the fifth Pixar film. The film focuses on Marlin, a clownfish living in the ocean. He's having a really great time. He just moved into an anemone with his partner Coral. They're about to be parents, but suddenly Coral and all but one of their offspring are killed by a barracuda. Marlin tries to fight back, but gets knocked out cold and wakes up to see that his wife and kids are gone. He finds one surviving egg and decides to name the offspring Nemo at the request of Coral before she got killed. So years go by. Marlin is super protective of Nemo. So super protective that he's very cautious about letting him go off to school with a bunch of other fish. And then suddenly Nemo gets captured and taken by divers. And Marlin crosses the entire ocean along with this fish that has short-term memory loss, Dory, in order to find Nemo and get back home. Finding Nemo was a movie that, when I originally saw it when I was 12 years old, I was like, it's good. It's good. I don't love it, but I think it's pretty good. But as the years went by, I rewatched the movie several times, like in my late teens and in my adulthood, and I realized this movie is actually phenomenal. It may not be one of my absolute favorite Pixar movies, but I mean, most Pixar movies are classics, and Finding Nemo is definitely another classic. It's beautifully animated. Like, with each Pixar movie, the animation gets so much better. Like, here, they tackled the ocean, and it's beautiful. Like, you got sunlight coming down from the surface, all these little details and textures for all the animal characters and everything in the ocean. It's just absolutely beautiful. The score is fantastic. The score is done by Thomas Newman, who's the first new composer for a Pixar movie, since the first four were done by Randy Newman. And in case you're wondering, yes, Thomas Newman and Randy Newman are related. They're cousins. The score really helps with all the emotions that are conveyed throughout the movie, which, again, like a lot of other Pixar movies, they know how to balance humor, emotion, thrills, and lighthearted fun. And, I mean, you got Dory, played by Ellen DeGeneres, who is the comic relief of the movie, but she's also the heart of the movie. She's the one character that everyone remembers, and she has the best laughs, but she also provides motivation for Marlin, and in a sense, Marlin learns a lot of things from this fish that loses her memory every now and then. It really goes to show how masterful Pixar is when creating these memorable characters. And also in terms of emotion, Finding Nemo has the second most heartbreaking emotional opening of all of their films. We'll get to their number one later, but you know what it is. And now getting back into why I didn't love the movie back then as opposed to now, the main reason for that was of Marlin. Marlin's voiced by Albert Brooks, and I really didn't like Marlin at first. When I saw him as a kid, I thought he's too annoying, he whines a lot. It kills my enjoyment for the movie. But as I've grown older, as I've learned to appreciate film for more than just looking cool, I realized that Marlin has went through a lot of shit. Like, sure, he can be annoying at points, but you gotta take into consideration what he's gone through. He's lost his wife, he's lost all but one of his kids, and he doesn't want to lose his only child. So Marlin frantically worrying about Nemo, that makes perfect sense. Marlin being too cowardly and afraid to go out into the open and even trust other fish, that's perfectly understandable because of what happened to him in the opening. And all of that plays into the movie's message, which I really like, is aimed towards adults and not kids. It's the whole notion of when you have kids, you can't hold on to them forever. They're going to get older. They can eventually take care of themselves. So really, I love how it's a movie made more for adults when you think about its message. But then again, it is a movie filled with a bunch of talking fish, and it's very colorful, bright, lighthearted. But again, it just shows how genius Pixar is. I don't think I have any legitimate complaints now. I mean, It's not one of my absolute favorite Pixar movies, as I mentioned, but it is pretty flawless. I mean, it's fun, it's fast paced, the animation's beautiful, the score's fantastic. You got so many other great voices in here, like Willem Dafoe and Jeffrey Rush. It's just, it is a masterpiece of a movie. It's really great, beautiful, funny. The rating's obvious. Get off your ass and go see it right now. I can't possibly praise this movie enough. I don't like it as much as Toy Story or some of the other movies that we're going to talk about, mainly next week's movie. But it is such a beautiful movie that you cannot go without seeing it. So watch it right now, please. And that's my review for Finding Nemo. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. And this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.